Hello, my name is Sherry Liseko, and I will be working with your student this year in our Honors Algebra 2 class. Over the past few weeks, I've enjoyed getting to know the students and feel that we are building a positive classroom culture. I've told the students as I enter my 30th years in education that it's taking me just a little bit longer to learn everyone's names, but I'm working on it. I've broken my topic or my presentation today into 4 topics. The content, what are we doing right now, what are the expectations, and then grading. Let's start with the content that is in Honors Algebra 2. This content is straight from our Indiana State Standards. You can see that it's broken into 5 areas, and it's heavily focused on the family of functions, and that they are to be addressed through the lens of modeling and real-life application. If we look into our textbook, which can be found in our Canvas course, on the left-hand side you can click and view the student textbook. If you take a quick overview, you'll see that the textbook is very similar to the standards, and it mentions the previously worded modeling, real-world application approaches that we'll be utilizing in class. If you're interested in knowing what your student did today in class, when students enter the room, they are met with a slide up on the screen that looks similar to this. I always try to have our reminders for the day. What do we need out on our desk? Try to have a positive something that's inspirational or motivational, a quote for the day, an image, something like that. Make sure a reminder to remind them to place their cell phone in the caddy so that we can have uninterrupted focus. And then something for them to look and think about and discuss as students are entering the room so that we can activate their minds and get their mind thinking. After that, we go into our content, and that can take various forms. Sometimes it might be group work at our desk, sometimes it might be group work at our vertical spaces, it could be independent practice, it could be that students are engaged with a lesson that I'm facilitating or leading. But many times throughout the period, the students are asked to engage in many of our math process standards, whether it be that they are constructing an argument and justifying their reasoning or attending to precision, that we view these standards as something that we incorporate in with our content standards. If you ever want to look at what happened specifically that day, in our Canvas course we have a module called Daily Agenda and Assignments, and you can see that every day I post the slides that are used in class as well as any assignment that has been given. So if students are absent, this is a good resource for them. Or if students would just like to take their notes and look at the slides and review something, once again, this is the place to go to look. So what are class expectations? Well, with all of the engagement in discussion and conversation and collaboration, respect is number 1. And so we have really been practicing that as we want everyone to feel safe and comfortable to explain their line of reasoning. And as we go through that, I'm also encouraging students to be what I refer to as an active participant, that they come to class prepared, that they are utilizing all of their class time appropriately with our Honors Algebra 2 material. If you'd like more specific class information, you can find that within the Canvas module. I only have 2 Canvas modules. One is the daily agenda and assignments that we just looked at, and this is the second one that gives our general class information. If we look at how is the grade determined, as you're viewing the breakdown between the summative and formative, I can assure you that we do several almost daily check for understandings. And that is so that the students can self-assess and see where they are in the progression of their learning towards our standards, and that it can inform me too as to how I need to plan our next lesson. So before we take that summative assessment, there are several formative things that go on, and then almost daily self-checks that students have. If over the years I've developed what is called a reformative learning process. And so if you would like to see the details of that, it is in our Canvas module underneath the class information, but I'm just going to outline it very quickly here. What I ask students to do if they do not, on the assessment, achieve the score, the learning that they thought that they might, the first thing that students do is do an analysis of their test. They look at the standards, the learning intentions that were on that assessment, and see what did they do well on, what do they need to improve on. Then they do a deeper dive and analyze the test and look at their mistakes and determine were they conceptual mistakes, and if so, what relearning needs to take place. And from there we make an action plan for that student so that then when they do take the reassessment, they are prepared to the best level that they feel that they can be. So that's why I call it a reformative learning process. It's more than just a retake of an assessment. I want us to go through and actually identify where the confusion in the learning is occurring, and then correct that confusion before we reassess. I want to thank you very much for taking time to view my video this evening. I'm super excited to go on this Algebra 2 journey with your students this year, and I just feel that it's going to be a really great year. Thank you.